Hey guys, welcome back to my channel where I just share all my thoughts and things that come up on my journey that might help you on your journey, or maybe not. But today I want to make a video on transmuting energy and how it's so important for us to keep transmuting energy and emotions as they come up. And it got me thinking about this to do with for me personally, I know that I had a big period over a lot of political things that have come up recently. I've had completely the opposite opinion to quite hateful masses on vaccines. I didn't want to have my vaccine, didn't want to do the lockdowns, all the things that basically people were really angry about. I didn't agree with it, right? So I got so much hate, I got blocked, and I think a lot of us on that journey went through a similar journey where we experienced a lot of attack, we experienced a lot of hate. And what's really interesting is, so I probably shared way too much on mine because I struggle to get monetized on Reels. Actually, my latest strike was for nudity, and I've never ever shared a nude picture, so I assume it's one of my pieces of artwork of a starseed or something. I have no idea what it is, but anyway, I just decided to go back to an old Facebook page that I had from 7 years ago, and I decided to jump back onto it and just roll with that one and temporarily leave the one that I'd started about 7 years ago. About 7 years ago now. And what was so interesting is I went right back into the lion's den, because over this time I'd sort of been shedding, because what I find is a lot of these people that come for you because they don't like your opinions, they tend to block very quickly, they tend to remove you. And I ended up with a very, very nice Facebook where I could share anything, I could have any opinion, and everyone was really chill. I could share memes. I'm all about humor, I'm all about jokes, I'm all about making light of things. And I'd got such a nice page where it was just, I felt so free on it. And coming back to my old Facebook, I realized that, oh my gosh, I've got all these people on here that are, we're right back at the beginning where you put one status and you just like, it's like, and it just reminded me how much I've grown, because I think a lot of us maybe were the same, maybe not everybody, but when you first had to speak an unpopular truth or an unpopular opinion, it was difficult, right? I remember it being really difficult. It's hard to take that much hate. But what I realized is that when you learn to transmute, you can transmute that hatred. I'm not saying anyone really wants to walk around and get hated for their opinions, but if you're just staying silent and you're not transmuting, you're just essentially staying stuck because you're not daring to express yourself. You're not daring to have an opinion because it might make you unpopular or abandoned. And sure, you lose a lot of people, right? If you have an opinion that's not in alignment with the 90%, then you lose a lot of people. You lose work colleagues, you lose friends, you might not be picked for jobs. It was like a crazy time, the COVID time, right? People got very angry about it. And the same if you prefer Trump. I mean, I think they're all, I don't believe in any prime minister myself, but there were certain opinions that if you held them, you were basically attacked, hated, cancelled, what have you. And that's scary. That is definitely a scary energy. Some people took to it easier than others, but for some of us, like me, it was quite difficult. But what I realized is from transmuting that and pushing through that and almost allowing that hate to like absorb and make me stronger. I look back at who I was 4 years ago, and sure, did I always do it in the best way? No. Did I sometimes become defensive and attack myself? Of course I did. But I realized that transmutation process made me into such a stronger, more evolved person. Like my energy just amplified so much from transmuting that hatred and taking it into an empowered energy. And I feel we can do this in so many areas of our lives, in relationships, in jobs. We can take an energy like anger, hatred, upset, crying, and we can transmute it into something super powerful on the other side. We don't have to, if we try to suppress it, we're just going to be stuck. Whereas if we can try and transmute that into a higher energy, in my opinion, that is so so important to our growth as humans, not to just be diminished by negative energies, but to take them on, transmute them, and turn them into something else, you know. Because if you start to look at it in a different way, well, look at all these comments I'm getting on my posts. I can transmute this energy into really raising my page. You know, actually all these people coming for me, they're adding to my algorithm, they're like boosting it, and then you're going to get, you know, you're going to start meeting more aligned people that are aligned with you. And I've realized when I look back how much I've transmuted, like how many negative energies I've transmuted by pushing through, and by not just like staying silent or avoiding, or not having an opinion, or not progressing, even with a soul connection. You know, I've always pursued any intense connection. I've not shied away from it. I've not been like, oh no, it's too strong, or it's too triggering. I've always pushed through it, because I've known it's had something to teach me. And absolutely every time I come out the other side, stronger, more empowered, more integrated. And, you know, obviously I'm not saying stay with an abusive partner or anything like this. And I'm not saying, you know, take obviously abuse, but taking on energies that are not necessarily all love and light, and transmuting them into something powerful, I really think is such an important part of this journey. So many people, they just stay silent, they put their head under the sand, they hope it's going to go away, they hope they're not going to be pushed to have any kind of opinions. And in my opinion, that is keeping you stuck, and it's not helping you to evolve into a higher version of yourself. The same as if you have strong connections with people and soul connections and you just avoid them because they're intense. You aren't going to grow in that way either. So my thought for the day is, you really grow when you push through and you integrate negative energies. You don't avoid them, you don't fear them, you don't run away from them. It's a process. It's not going to happen overnight, but integrate them, become stronger. And that's my message for today. Hope everyone is good. Bye bye.